We got justice. Those are the words of Wendy Fisher's mother today after learning a jury had convicted two men of felony murder in the shooting death of her daughter.
Fox Today's reporter Steve Alexander covered the trial all week. He talked to Fisher's mother as well as Wendy's daughter and boyfriend. He's standing live there at Government Plaza. Steve, what did they say?
Jurors deliberated more than an hour yesterday and then about 2 hours today. And then we talked to both Mrs. Fisher and other people today about the results of that verdict, the verdict being guilty of murder for Trayon Washington and also Pat Brown. Police had said Washington shot Fisher and Brown drove the car with Washington inside after Fisher yelled at the car to stop because it was going too fast. Now, this after Wendy Fisher came out of her home on Racine Avenue in 2012, and then that's when the incident, police say, happened. The courtroom was quiet after the jury foreman read the verdict, but a few minutes later, Wendy Fisher's mother reflected on the tragedy.
Last year, when our daughter was shot, we began looking forward to the day that there would be justice for her. And we waited all this week for justice for her, and today we've got that justice.
Wendy Fisher's daughter was with her mother when she was shot and testified for the prosecution.
It was pretty difficult. I didn't know if I was going to be able to actually get up there and look them in the face, but I did it, and I'm glad I did it.
Rob Russo was Wendy Fisher's boyfriend and testified that he saw Trayon Washington point the gun at him.
For the longest time, you blame yourself. If the gun was pointed at me, were those bullets meant for me? And you question your role in the whole situation and what you could have done differently. You go over it 100 different times on what you could have done differently and to stop the whole event from happening.
Trayon Washington's mother, Charlene, also spoke today. Earlier, she had said that God had spoken to her in a dream of her son's innocence.
I know my son is not the killer. The killer is still out there, and God would not fail me.
After 5 days of jury selection, testimony, and the jury announcing its verdict, the trial was finally over.
How do you describe what you've been through, from the shooting all the way to the verdict?
Like a roller coaster. Sometimes I have my good days and sometimes I have my bad days.
And I believe she's up there in heaven just saying, "That's the way to go, Mom. All right, Dad." Yeah.
Brown and Washington are scheduled to be sentenced on February 27th. They could face a maximum of life in prison. Now, coming up on your only local news at 5:30, you will hear from the prosecutor and also one of the defense attorneys about their reaction to the verdict. Reporting live from Government Plaza, Steve Alexander, Fox 10 News.
Thank you, Steve. It has been a busy week for murder trials.